there in place. But farmer level, see, we have Jagdish ji already shared that we have 3.6 million farmers who are giving milk twice in a day to us. And they are small marginal farmers from rural areas. Their average milk is around, say, you can say 5 liters, 6 liters, 10 liters per day. And their cow strength is also from 2 cow up to 1,000 cows. So that kind of farmer range we have. Now they are, most of them, they have mobile phone, but more than 50% they don't have smartphone. So we have mobile apps and all. More than 1 million farmers are using, and they are getting data. But the farmers who have feature phone, they were not getting all this data information. So now with the help of X-Step Foundation, with the help of guidance of Jagdish ji, in last 1 month time, we have created IT Amul AI. That is a intelligence platform that it is working on the top of our current digital database, and it is giving cattle level personalized guidance to farmers. The beauty of this system is it is in the local language Gujarati. Another beauty, it is giving guidance on phone. Anybody can call. We have given name Sarla Ben to that AI assistance. So it is 24 by 7 phone line. Anybody can call Sarla Ben, and Sarla Ben will recognize that farmer out of 3.6 million from its phone number. From phone numbers, Sarlaben will check in the database how much milk that woman has given. Most of the farmers are women, by the way. Most of them are women, and they are very, very hardworking. See, big business, you have to work 365 days. There is no holiday. They have to wake up at 4 o'clock. They have to do milking in the morning, evening. So they are very, very hardworking people. So this Sarlaven is now started giving wonders, because now our farmers have started calling, and they are getting all kind of guidance. Like, I'll give you example. Day before yesterday, sir, one of my colleagues was in the village, and one woman, its cow had a dog bite. So she was not aware whether now this cow I can give this milk to my kids, to calf, and I can give it to Amul or not. She was not aware. She contacted the doctor. Doctor gave treatment, but that clarity was not there. So my colleague advised her to call Sarlaben, and you won't believe Sarlaben gave her in-depth proper guidance. Say for next 10 to 12 days, don't give milk to your kids. You can give it to calf, but observe its implication and all. So Sarlaben is working like anything. It has all transaction data. Transaction data means bill collection data. Plus, we have more than 10 million cattle registered in our system. Each and every cattle profile, its milking details, its vaccination detail, its all veterinary treatment details of last 2 years. All these things we have integrated with this Amul AI, and whenever farmer will call, it will give all the advice like now next vaccination schedule is this. Now you have to do AI in our Amul. It is artificial insemination actually so far. Now it is artificial intelligence. So on AI also it is giving guidance what kind of fodder, what kind of nutrition, what kind of care can be taken. Other than that, it is also giving other guidance like all financial transactions or AI is aware. Then government schemes and many other insurance related all things. What we have done in last 80 years, Amul, we have a lot of document, lot of video, lot of audio. So with the help of Jagdish ji, we have uploaded, we have ingested all the knowledge in this Amul AI plus transaction. So it is working very well, very well. Every day we are getting a lot of thousands call we are getting every day. And other than phone calling, we also given chat option to them, because we already have a app. 1 million farmers are using. So in that we have given chat option. Chat option is available in Gujarati local language. So that is the story. Thank you.
So I'll come to maybe we can use that mic. Um, I'll come to asking in fact the next question. How are you protecting the privacy of all the farmers and their data? But the most exciting part is this. When I call, look, my cow is not well. Sure, I know about that. Now, what's the latest story? Tell me. Because I know what medicine has been taking, which veterinary doctor has been treating your cow, what has been the schedule given, when was the last dosage, everything the system knows. So the follow-up is so fast and so easy, it's just amazing, right? And I have questions on accounting. Any of them get slipped if you've gone to a dairy milk collection, generally get a slip. So many of them don't read because they can't read, and second, it is too technical. Think about it. Now you can ask, how do I improve the fat percentage in my cow? We may think they know, but that's not improving the fat percentage, right? What they know is not improving. The question is, what is the next story? The story is actually coming here, right? Third, I will ask him, because remember this question later. How are you learning from this system and what has been your experience listening to so many farmers at the same time? So three questions I'll come back to you. Now let's move to David further. So, sir, you recently launched VR. What was lacking before you had very sophisticated systems? You're also embarking on a very ambitious journey to give identity to farmers in the name of farmer registries and so on. And also, in future, you're going towards livestock registries. Can you tell me your journey of developing these technology systems, which itself is like a big deal in a country of that scale, and what has been your journey to AI? Why did you come, and what has been your experience so far?
Thank you. Uh, so what has been lacking, as many of you might understand, whenever this thing of digitalization or something of that sort is coming, we are making progress or we are making developments in a siloed approach, meaning we're planning to address a specific issue that's targeted or designed to address a specific problem. While it is important in the way it is designed, it also has got its own limitations. Just to give you a very simple example where I have experienced it in light of where I'm working, we have two different applications. These are separate applications. One is about informing the market status to the smallholder farmers. That's the core of my organization at the API. And the other is providing advisory systems. If you think of these two different systems being built differently, you put a significant amount in technology, investing, in resources, but producing two different applications. What if you bring these two different applications into a one application that serves that caters to serve the different solution that you're planning? All right. So if you bring this two together, it gives you an insight. There are some other solutions that need to be addressed, and we can build on that. So what was lacking? There was no synergy. We were not bringing this application together. By doing so, we have spent a lot of investment on that, which could be utilized to address multiple problems at the same time.
So I just want to build on that. Okay. When he meant lack of synergy, I would think that every department is well intentioned to serve the best. So market prices division is doing their best to produce the best prices and given to the farmer, not produce the best prices, report the best prices and reach it to the farmers. So is the advisory systems. They're doing their best. So when you say synergy, can you talk about what has been your experience of bringing them together? Because if you see in the space of government, every department does their best, but gaps appear in the coordination. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I just simplified it in the context of one organization. But like I said, there are multiple actors that are working in the tech space. So if you bring them together, you can do a solution at a scale addressing, probably I was very much impressed with the previous speaker talking about Amul. That's addressing a specific segment of the problem. What if you follow a value chain approach in addressing the end-to-end problems? I understand we have a multitude of problems or a multitude of challenges we need to address when it comes to farmers specifically. But if you are able to address a significant chunk of it, that will be a significant that will bring a significant impact in the livelihood of smallholder farmers.
And with the recent experience of launching Ethiopian Open Agri-Net initiations recently, how many sources have you brought together, and what has been your experience?
So that's an ambitious strategy that we have launched recently. And most importantly, we have brought together the different actors within the agricultural sector. So we brought them together and everyone was excited because, like I said earlier, within an organization, we had to run two different applications. But if you bring multiple organizations, it could be hundreds, if not thousands. So when you bring it together, when you act based on a single database to make a decision, and when you empower it with AI, then the result is tremendous.
So your journey has been hundreds of applications to a common interface that takes care of all of their case.
Absolutely.
They're not letting go of their applications. They continue to serve the farmers in their own workflows, but there is a one level above. You're not bringing all the data together.
Yeah,
They exist doing what they do.
absolutely. We maintain data sovereignty in
Data sovereignty at a department level as well and at a country level.
level as well.
I think we'll come back to you soon on that topic. Let's go to Niriksha. Thank you. So Niriksha, coming back to your question of in your journey, you also focus on multiple strategies and what has been the effectiveness of various strategies, especially in the area of advisory. Why did you choose to focus on weather as a keystone topic to go after as an organization?
So we've been doing like you
And a
did.
brief introduction to PXT as well. Yeah.
So at PXT, we care about cost-effective interventions reaching farmers at scale, working with governments to make sure the scale is unlocked. So a large part of our work had been working in Odisha actually, where we built Krishi Samruddhi, which was a two-way advisory platform. This was before AI. So this was, just simple messages going out to farmers in local language and voice. Well, we studied the impact, through randomized evaluations. What we found there was the largest impact comes when farmers face weather shocks. So advisory can help farmers manage risk when unpredictable weather events hit, which in a world of changing climate, anybody in agriculture knows this. It's about minimizing risk, not always maximizing profit. And so that's why we were thinking about, there's a lot happening on the delivery side in AI, but AI has also revolutionized how weather models are being generated. So there's a lot of open access AI models that are able to predict better, faster, cheaper, long range weather information. The critical question for farmers is when is the monsoon going to arrive? What should they plant? And often these decisions are not made 5 days before or 10 days before, they're made a month before, 2 months before. That's very exciting because AI can now tell you with pretty good quality when that's going to happen. And so that's why, in addition to advisory prioritizing these types of interventions, all of this are different buckets that can feed into platforms and get better advice for farmers. But thinking about what each of that content or registry is, I think that was really important.
Talk to us about how did you get to you chose weather because that's the timing decision happens on weather. What has been your journey of developing information sources on weather itself?
So I always say this: you can find the best weather forecast in the world if you don't design it in the message in a way that the farmer can actually understand or use. It's a useless forecast.
Oh, so say again.
So you can have an AI forecast model that is very accurate. It's telling you 3 weeks later, here's when the rain is going to come. Then you translate that into a message, and if a farmer misunderstands that message or doesn't understand that
So you have the
message,
best system in the world.
yeah, then you're feeling, right? So one good example of this is when we were sending farmers forecast messages, we would say there's a 70% probability. And all farmers say that they value uncertainty. They want to understand
Oh,
how much.
so they understand 70%.
No, but when you say 70% probability, half the farmers think that means volume of rainfall, for example,
Oh.
right? So you have to really think intentionally about what the message involves, and you have to measure impact not just on increase in incomes, but where does it actually break? Do farmers understand the message? Do they act on the message? Do they recall the message to the end of the journey?
And how has been your experience of I've seen this, right? Okay, there is a chance of rain tomorrow. So what do you do with it? Right? Tomorrow temperature is going to be so many degrees Celsius. What do you do with it? Right? So what's been your experience packaging that information?
So we've tried both versions, and I think it varies by context. So this is why designing in each context is quite important. So I think a lot of farmers just want to know the weather. They know they know what farming needs to be done. They're making decisions like we need to adjust the timing of planting or we need to switch crops. There are lots of other farmers that ask the same question, which is like, so what? And I think this is another way AI is exciting. You can learn from farmers' preferences and design advice that you targeted to their
How
individual
many
needs.
messages have you delivered?
We've reached 38 million farmers in India, and in
Wow.
Ethiopia, we are hoping to reach at least another 7 million farmers with API.
Wow, wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you. So when I come back to you, so with AI coming in, will you be jobless? I'll prepare your answer. I'll not answer it. Okay, good. So this man sees is like an electrician of this area. He knows everything inside, and also see the way we all position technologies from outside. So Kunj, in the way you have seen systems evolve in the last 5 years, let's say, leading up to AI, you have seen individual systems get developed, put to use for farmers, and are misused. You have seen all of it. Where do you see the big bright spot for AI? What's a big deal?
Yeah, sure, JB, thanks. And as part of our Bihar Krishi work, actually, our entire design philosophy is based on this aspect, how we can simplify and bring in that impact. And as NSC, our measure of success is based on the impact that we have created for that last mile. So that is how we measure it. Now, our journey of past 2.5 years with implementing this Bihar Krishi platform and with the ag stack work that we have done earlier. So how we have seen these systems evolving is all of these started with maybe small siloed systems, wherein you create one system for farmers to apply for a benefit for a given scheme. And likewise, you have 50 different ones. You have so many farmer databases, one created at a federal level, one created at a state level, and then you have different for different kinds of farmers. So now fisheries farmers are different than livestock farmers are different than agri farmers. So these are the so many silos which are created. Now, to layer it up, government has created their own decision making systems, which are again accumulating data. So now government is gathering the data related to prices, related to other things for their own purpose, so that they run the state more efficiently and so on. Now, with this kind of information silo, so we can say that digitization work was largely done with this approach. Now, how do you make it useful for farmers?
So I just want to kind of say that when you say there are so many data sources, it's a feature and not a bug.
Yes,
It's
this is
a
a
feature.
feature. Yeah, this is a
It's a
feature, not
feature
a
of the
bug.
system that we
Yes.
all create our own data, and that's not a problem.
Exactly,
very
it's not a problem.
case.
Yes, yes. That is how the things have evolved, and that is how it is going to be. And these have to be recognized as those source of truths which will exist. And then when we started designing Bihar Krishi, we wanted to keep these intact as a source of truths. So we applied all of great DPI principles when we were designing it. So how we can keep it minimal, how we can leverage these source of truths, and ensuring all the basic safeguards and everything around it. Now, how we layered it up was we created those, what you can say, if not national highways but state highways, right, to bridge these systems, wherein the information flow we make it seamless for the farmers. So let's say for example farmer want to apply explore the schemes. So the previous status was they have to go to 40 different portals, you can say, or websites, you can say, or different pages to apply for those 40 schemes. Now they have one single place to come and they can still apply for everything. So this is how the simplification comes.
Unification.
Unification, exactly. So unification has been our core mantra, that how we bring everything at a single place for the farmer so that they can leverage all services. Now we also have to recognize that government cannot solve all problems in the agriculture. So there has to be participation of the private sector as well in a big way. And how do you solve for that? How do you bring that trust that farmers have in government, the similar level of trust that they can have in the private sector? And that is where we are trying to bring these services together to bring the choice to the farmer. So let's say farmer want to take a seed, then whether I take it from government or from private sector, they have a choice over there. They can compare, they can have the historical data also available to make a choice. So that is the next thing that we are solving. Now, having said that, this approach still brings in the elements of the manual, menu driven,
Yeah.
and form filling kind of an approach.
So when I say that, when you design a menu for a population scale application, essentially you are saying the way we all came through a gate, set of gates, you are designing that. You go left, take right, there is a security guard, then there is a scanning going on. That's what a menu is. For population scale, you are writing the queue system, right?
Yeah.
And what has changed now?
Exactly. So now where we this is the next phase of evolution that we are into. What we are trying to do is you able to serve the system, or the people should be able to interact in the system whatever way they want. They understand, let's say Bhojpuri, they should be able to talk it out in Bhojpuri and get the things done. So as a version one that we have launched, that is where the purpose specific actions they can do. The example that Niriksha gave, right? Weather advisory in a generic manner doesn't make any sense. Can we read out to farmer what does that mean in terms of the action? So that is what we have started doing. The next phase of it is basically with power of Bharat Vistar, whatever comes in, and the other things around. We want to go to a place where farmer with the voice based command should be able to action it. I want to apply for a scheme, and you have a system running, engine running, which will let the farmer submit for a scheme just with the voice command. Farmer want to explore the market prices, they would be able to explore that just with the voice command. And that is how we can bring the true power of technology with simplification and not complicating the system.
So when I come back, maybe I'll start with the second round with you only. See, in the previous panel, when I walked in, I heard, yeah, we have done voice technologies, we have integrated and so on and so forth. It's all seen as a component. You plug and play a voice into your system. What's been your experience of taking AI, voice technologies, and AI, actually LLMs and so on, SLMs and LLMs, into your core site? What has been your experience?
Yeah. So in fact, you can say that, okay, we took a while to ensure that we don't bring in a wrong thing, because the platform was already at scale. We were already kind of being adopted by 850K farmers in Bihar. So we wanted to bring in something which works at scale, and there have been validation of multiple solutions in terms of the based on the voice commands in different local dialects and languages. There have been a bit of validation happens in terms of who gives the better output, and that has been our what do you say, selection criteria for choosing the right solution. And that's how we have plugged in terms of choosing the right
Talk to me about farmer productivity and farmer employment opportunities.
yeah.
How has it been you focused on it? See, technology is there like a screwdriver, nut and bolts we carry around. So what?
Yeah. So in terms of farmer productivity, what again, like, so with that unification thing, we have brought in all the basic ingredients for the farmer, for them to be able to take a better decision. For example, let's say farmers having a soil health card. It is more like a path lab report which we get done for ourselves and take it to doctor, and doctor explains us, right, what is the problem. Maybe with help of chat GPT we can upload, still it can give you some advice, but we still can't trust, right? You have to trust a registered doctor. So for that also we have simplified in a way where let's say things like soil health card can be uploaded, and that gives you an actionable insight, and which helps farmer choose the right kind of actions to be taken to improve productivity. And from the perspective of the employability of farmer, and that is where we are looking at it from the holistic, as I said, right, a 360-degree perspective for the farmer, where let's say an agri farmer essentially will not be only agri, it will be maybe livestock plus fisheries as well.
Yeah.
So how we can bring all of these together so that we bring that potential.
Also, farmer has a family.
Yeah.
And then child welfare, and then child future, and
Exactly.
then health
Yes.
of the family elders in the house.
Yeah.
The whole thing comes together.
Exactly.
Full pack,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So let's move to Nirikshan. Nirikshan, the question I asked, whether you are sending SMSs in the past, now it's a core ingredient. So how are you morphing yourself in the coming age?
I think, like you said, technology is not the answer. It is one of the vehicles or pathways to get
Also,
information.
talk to me about what evidences have you seen firsthand of the impact of then productivity and
So, to your first question, it doesn't matter if we're sending SMS or voice or chatbot. I think the idea is you try to reach people at scale in whatever way you want. I think our role is increasingly shifting to think about what is evidence based, how do you build capacity to get it to scale. So how do you establish the institutional ownership, the buy-in, the mandate to get to scale. In terms of impact, I think back to the point I was making, the big place we've seen real-time advice, digital advice make differences is in reducing crop loss for farmers. So in Odisha, for example, we saw 25% decreases in crop loss due to extreme weather shocks. And this is not even from sending preemptive advice, it is just from helping manage risks once the weather shock is there. So you can imagine as the forecasts get better, as the advice gets earlier on, there are huge windows of opportunity to help farmers protect from entire crops getting wiped out. Again, the key for that is making sure the advice is actionable and usable. The other advantage of digital technologies is the cost effectiveness. These services cost like 40 paise per farmer to run its field or about that. So when you're talking about return on investment, you're talking about, if I shouldn't say this in dollars, but I will, you're talking about, like $20 in farmer returns for every dollar invested in the
Wow.
service. Which, at the scale of like population scale, those gains are huge.
Yeah, I can relate to this in my person, right? I part of my farming is in agri, sorry, paddy. December first week is when you are ready for harvest. In where I grow, Tamil Nadu side, you get cyclone. Much of the time, the challenge is will it rain? Will it not rain? Will it rain? Will it not rain? That few days is good enough either to lose the entire grass because once it waterlogs, grass becomes very difficult. You cannot even harvest; it becomes waterlogged, and that you have 1 or 2 days only actually, or you have to start early or only, and the crop cannot be fully mature. Right? It's been a very significant challenge for 10, 15 years. Now I see forecasting is very very good. Clouds is not the only way to predict. You can actually see data. Thank you very much. By the way, one question for you. So now are you putting weather data on Rails as a DPI constituent so that others can use it?
Yeah, it's all open source, all our content advisory,
So you'll
everything.
integrate with Bharat Vista?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And with OAN in
Yeah,
Ethiopia.
absolutely. Great, nice. Sir, coming to you. So you have integrated and launched an AI service. Talk to me about the inclusion sources as well as where do you see farmer productivity and employment generation opportunities come? Because information is now coming together. As I notice, information is hidden, productive information, profitable information is hidden between the silos. I don't mean silos in a negative sense. I just call it as a matter of fact as a feature, not a bug. Right? Can you please talk about that?
Thank you. So, I mean, one thing that will be benefiting from this approach is that, like, let's take an example of a farmer having financial access in the context of a siloed approach in the positive sense that you have said, and when it comes together. Now that we brought all the different applications together and we have a credible source of information on how to identify a farmer, so the bankability of the farmer will increase. So if the bankability of the farmer increases, there is a high likelihood the farmer will be able to access finance and produce more. So in a way, by virtue of bringing into the kind of modality that we introduced through the Open AgriNet, very much likely the productivity of the smallholder farmers will go up.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. It's a significant ray of hope.
there is.
Talk to me about sovereignty of data and talk sovereignty of models. You talked about it briefly,
Yeah.
but why do you care?
So traditionally or conventionally, everybody used to think data as a significant resource. I'm not trying to underestimate the value of data, but it's by hoarding data, you can make the best out of that data. But by exposing it to whosoever will be making the best out of it, you can generate more profit to that data. But with this approach, you can still maintain the privacy of your data by providing only what is required, or you can use a consent-based approach so that whenever your data is being accessed for a specific purpose, there is a way to verify and provide that specific data so that you can generate, what is required or for what purpose is it's required, and that way you can make your data usable and be of use to the farmers or whosoever is using it in the sector.
So, am I right in summarizing that the farmer is not at the mercy of the LLM companies who have taken your data and provide advice that may or may not be accountable? Here, the data stays with those creator, who's the farmer, the data owner, and the institution that is holding it up. You only provide it in a transactional basis, anonymizing it. Is that approach?
That's absolutely the case.
So you are using LLM in a very constructive way without actually letting all your data get in. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Because I see that if there are 4 or 5 instances in India, Mahavistar, Bharat Vistar, and then Bihar Krishi, Amul, the same approach where you are not needing to actually pump in all the data into the LLMs for you to make use of it. Very contextual use of AI for the benefit of the farmers. Very safe, very accountable. Sir, coming to you. Talk to me about the employability. How is this helping?
Yeah, see, generally, sir, we believe that with AI coming in, employment opportunities will reduce. But in our case, it is opposite. Because see, as I explained earlier, this dairy farming is a very, very difficult. It needs.
Employment opportunities come down for those working in AI. For dairy fellows, the field
Yeah,
is
yeah, it is going to increase. I'm explaining. See, dairy business is very, very, it requires a lot of physical work. And it is very, very difficult. But with now AI coming in, our all small dairy farmers will get all kind of help, support, everything online, real time in their own language, and will also help them to improve their profitability, to improve their productivity, and ultimately now we can see clearly that going forward the employment will increase like anything. Because see, this year we are planning to cross 1 lakh crore Amul, but we have made a plan to become 2 lakh crore companies in next 3 to 4 years time. We have a lot of demand in the market, but the issue is milk scarcity. But with this AI tool, now we can see that we can convince farmer to have more cattle and
take bigger risk.
yeah,
Take bigger risk.
yeah, yeah, and other people will also be attracted because this. I can see personally that this business will become easier than earlier because all guidance. See, we have a small villages, only 500 people are there in the village, and that woman lady, if she wants some help, some guidance, to whom she will ask? Now this Sarla Ben is giving all kind of support to her.
She doesn't have to go out of the village.
No, nothing.
Amazing.
Anytime in her own language. See, in Gujarat we have 10 to 15 local accent, but this AI tool is able to understand each and everything. All
Fantastic.
accent. Yeah. Another thing you were asking, like how this knowledge is helping us. So see, in our case, all farmers they are our actually owner. Amul, see, main philosophy of Amul is to value for many, value for money. That means, see, for consumers, we want to offer quality products at a reasonable, most reasonable rate. And at the same time, value for many means to all our farmers, we want to give maximum returns. They are like a vendor, but they are also our owner. They are our shareholder. All our entire board, our chairman, they are farmers. So every year we try to increase the remuneration by 10% rate wise. That is our target. So, and we also want to help them, we want to support them. So with this AI tool, now we are getting thousands of call every day. So as suggested by you only, we have created a cell. They are listening each and every call. And we are now getting all kind of insights, what kind of help they need, what kind of issues they are facing. And we are trying to now will create a platform to help them.
Fantastic. So I'll go back to David. How has been the local language inclusion story for you? It's not an English system that you have launched. You have so many dialects going on in your country. Can you please talk about that?
Yeah, so that's a work in progress, but from the examples that we have seen here and there is a very much likelihood that this thing will take up and will take momentum in a couple of days or weeks time. But the examples that we have seen while launching specifically our first digital initiative with regards to the open agrinet, we have seen a number of uh, examples where we can leverage the existing databases that we already have. Not only that one, we have also these private sector actors that are working on that, and they are trying to integrate to the local language. And we have seen significant strides in that context as well. So it will take momentum very shortly.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I'll open up for a few questions. Um, the questions related to market access, market linkages, etc., are all work in progress among all of them. Amul being the most prominent one because they are inherently market linked. So as market players come together and they connect to the networks that we are talking about, that linkages will happen and farmers can actually access market forces in a very responsible way. That's being work in progress. So hold your market centric questions to later. So first question to sir. Why don't you ask? I think the room is small enough. Yeah, I'll move this mic around, please.
Yeah.
Let's do one thing. I ask three, four questions. I'll mix it up. Okay.
So,
Is that okay? Yeah. Go for it.
so we know about the Krishi call center that the government runs, but
KCC.
it faces all the problems that any human-centric advisory service faces. So, what are your opinions about straight replacing the Krishi call center with an AI as soon as possible? It will still do better than what's going on right now.
I understand.
So that is my
Thank
question.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, yeah. I'll get them to answer it. Next question. Why don't you speak it up? Anyway, small room. I'll repeat the questions.
Yeah,
We can
so-
quickly get all the questions.
Sure, thanks. So, one question from Mr. Seth and for Nikshita. Niriksha, sorry. Mr. Seth, so how are you leveraging your existing framework for providing financial inclusion? Because I know that a lot of work is happening on the front. So, if you can throw some light in terms of how, what kind of, I mean, there was a whole thing about milk ATM, right? Where money would, well, with
Yeah.
HDFC, a lot of work has happened. So, if you can throw in some idea in terms of what's been going on there, that would be great. And Niriksha, for you is that how different are you from what say IMD is providing, right? Because you're doing a push-based services. So we have worked in push-based services back in 2007 with Airtel, and we priced it at $30 a month, kind of a thing. But how different is that? Because I'm not seeing some progress happening on that front. So I'm really keen to understand how today are you leveraging that. Thank you.
I'll take three more questions and then we'll get into quickly answering. Okay. I don't know. I'm not counting up. Dr. Giram, yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. My question is to
Amol.
Amol. So you have a significant number of smallholder farmers involved in this program. What were the challenges you faced and what are the solutions you took?
Yeah, there are two questions to Amol. Yeah. Okay, so one, two, three, four. Okay. Please, I have only 5 minutes to answer. So please prepare your answers. We're going to have rapid fire answers.
Namaste, good afternoon to respected Sars and Madams from India and from foreign countries. This is Dr. Anant Narayan, basically faculty, industry consultant and researcher. My question is relating to what is the role of artificial intelligence and need of artificial intelligence and status of artificial intelligence with respect to past, present and future relating to agriculture science. It is Vyavasaya Shastram. Let me complete, sir. Agriculture science relating to socially, morally, ethically, philosophically, legally, mythologically, philosophically, locally, globally, environmentally, and technologically in A to Z 360 perspective relating to who are having pioneers like countries like Israel and United States and compared to a more than 65 percentage of GDP country like India. In that perspective, what is the role of artificial intelligence with respect to the respected panel members? Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Sir, I'll take three more questions here. After that I'll lose my memory. Okay. Yeah. Quickly, one line, please. Question. Question should not be an answer. Okay.
Certainly. I have a question to all panelists. I want to know that when we want to create impact for farmers or growers in our country or globally, so when we do such exercise, what is the scope for co-creation? When we want to create a solution for their pain points, so what is your strategy from government perspective, from private perspective, and to that matter from you, Niriksha, let's say when we want accuracy on the scalable point data, to be very parcel specific. I'd
So
like to understand
understood.
your
Yeah.
perspective. Thanks.
So, yeah, please. Three of them here, four of them only, okay? Please don't raise any more hands, okay?
So I'm Dolly Bhasin. I run a consulting firm and I've been working in Northeast. Currently, sustainability is a missing point actually being used in Northeast as far as despite the fact that they have very rich sustainable culture as well as sustainability. How can we really adopt AI technologies to really bring in retain some of the traditional knowledges and try to really integrate it with the opportunities that are opening up after the Northeast being opened
Yeah.
for the airport as well as this thing
What
to the
I'll do,
neighboring countries
I
in that
understood that.
area.
I don't know what we'll do. Sir, one last question. I'll come back. Okay, I'll answer it myself. Okay.
My name is Sachin Deshpande. I just wanted to understand voice AI becoming very important nowadays. What is your experience in terms of how many dialects you are able to crack, and what are the challenges you are going to face or currently facing, and how you are going to probably overcoming that?
Yes. Last question to you, sir.
How the organizations like us, small organizations and mentors like us who are helping students to pick up the AI initiatives, they can collaborate with any of the organizations.
Yeah. So I'll do one thing. I'll frame it to the panel. Please give it to them. So first, coming back to the couple of important questions raised. When farmers' current practices become established knowledge, that leads to sustainability. It's just not universities that produce knowledge. We all know. We've been doing it in our hands. We know it. All right. But then, where is it? If you're not in the family, you don't know it. Basically, right? If you're not in the family, you don't know it. And you have to go to see somebody else doing it. And farming is not a one day process. It's not a transaction. It's like a life cycle to the whole thing. So there's been efforts to actually bring that and consolidate in language so that farmers' knowledge is usable by AI as well. And that spreads and is preserved and is sustainable. Now, sir, one minute to each one of you.
Yes, sir. Quickly, like one question related to language. So our experience is amazing. This AI tool is seriously, sir. It is understanding all kind of question, all kind of accent, and it is also replying properly. So it is very powerful. And see, we have created local glossary, all local words versus English words. Because of that, it is very effective. But we are monitoring. If some places it is not answering, then immediately we are adding those knowledge. Yeah, yeah. Another things are related to collaboration. See, Amul is an open organization. We are always ready to help people. So anytime, yeah. Regarding financial transactions also. So we are making payment to farmers in their bank account regularly. It is completely transparent system, and this bank account payments, transactions, everything are now available in AI intelligence also. And
Yeah. So, with regards to AI, I appreciate the question, like the philosophical, social, all those aspects. One thing very critical when it comes to AI is it has to be ethical and responsible. Unless ethics and responsibility is integrated at the core of AI, the negative consequences are far outweighing the positive consequences. So the ethics in AI should be at the core of it, and we need to observe it whenever we're implementing solution related to AI.
I'll maybe answer your question. We don't produce weather forecasts, just to clarify. There exist open access AI-based forecasts, and the idea is to work with the Ethiopian Met and the Indian Met agencies to integrate them into their planning. And the idea is, we tested a very specific use case. We tested monsoon onset, which is a longer range forecast. And the models do better, but then there's a whole piece around how do you actually generate useful advice from that early enough in a way that farmers can understand. So we're not trying to displace institutions. We're trying to sort of work with institutions to leverage the promise of AI. At the end of the day, our goal is to get useful information in farmers' hands with enough time in a way that they can understand. So that's the promise. It's not necessarily here's a slightly better weather forecast than what might exist. And I think there was another question there about co-designing. And to the gentleman's point, it's the same point that when you think about where to prioritize as a ecosystem, which interventions matter, how to design the advice, those have to be co-designed with farmers. They have to address farmers' actual constraints. Messages have to, if it's an intervention about seed markets or messages, they have to actually address contextual problems of farmers. And the farmers are different. There isn't one average farmer. A female farmer, male farmer, smartphone access, simple phone access, that all varies. And so just design with them.
Okay, so maybe I guess the majority of the questions are already answered by the co-panelists. Maybe I'll
These
just
are all unanswered questions.
yeah, yeah. So maybe I'll take two out of that. So one was on that language bit, right? So again, yes, that is a critical aspect because in India the language diversity is very high. Within the specific languages also there are dialects, right? So it takes a bit of time for training and making or pruning it to the specific purpose. So that's a task in progress, and it will be ever evolving because that's a change every 50 kilometer. There's a change in the dialect, so that is happening and it will evolve. The second aspect of that trust and sustainability. Our viewpoint is, see, when the ecosystems come together, right? So from the supplier side and from the consumer side, right? If there are safeguards right in place and the supplier services are with the farmer centric approach, right? The trust will automatically build in. And when the trust is there in the system, the sustainability actually becomes part of it. Because when farmers start trusting it, they will start using it. And when they start using it, definitely the system is on and it will keep on churning. And from the long term perspective, of course, governments are thinking on the investment in the right direction in terms of the AI capacities, the AI solutions, and everything. So yeah, so you will see these things more sustainable in terms of these AI solutions taking the mainstream.
So, the last word. Entrepreneurs in the room, please come in with your systems. Develop systems that connects. Ecosystem members who work with communities participate. It's a beginning. For us to make it responsible, ethical, and sustainable, it's all for us to do. AI is not going to do it by itself, right? And inclusion is a perpetual challenge. We speak so many languages. It's not a solved problem, and it will not be solved. You have to just walk 100 kilometers to see the difference, right? So across countries, but significant opportunities. It's a beginning. We have just seen trial. Mahavistar has had 2 million questions, 2.5 million downloads in 45 days. But I still call it trial only. Just starting up. We have 100 million, 200 million to go, right? First of all, thank you very much. Very patient audience. I want to request a small gift to be given as a token of our appreciation to to me. Thank you. Oh, I can give it. Ajay ji. Please give a big round of applause. Massive achievement, sir. Pleasure. Direction. Thank you for showing up. And fantastic. Thank you very much, all of you. I guess lunch is waiting for me.